Spot and forward exchange rate. A. Spot exchange rate. In foreign exchange market, two types of exchange rate operations takes place. They are spot exchange and forward exchange rate. Spot exchange rate is the current exchange rate between two currencies. It is determined by the market forces, that is, demand for and supply of foreign exchange. It is the rate at which immediate delivery of foreign exchange has to be made. In reality, especially for large transactions, there is a 2 day time lag between the spot purchase or sale and the actual delivery. The time lag is allowed for paperwork, verification, and clearing of payments. The basic principle of the spot exchange rate is that it can be analyzed like any other price with the help of demand and supply forces. The exchange rate of the dollar is determined by the intersection of demand for and supply of dollars in the foreign exchange market. The demand for dollar is derived from the country's demand for imports which are paid in dollars, and the supply is derived from the country's exports which are sold in dollars. The exchange rate determined by the market forces would change as these forces undergo changes. The primary price makers buy or sell the currencies in the market at the rate continuously change in a free market depending on demand and supply. The primary dealers quote two-way prices and are ready to deal on either side, that is, to buy and sell. A bank quotes its rate in the following manner: INR to USD 60.50 bid, 60.75 ask. The above quote expresses the units of rupees, that is INR. The dealer is ready to pay 60.50 while buying the dollar, that is his bid buying price for 1 US dollar, that is USD. Rupees 60.75 is the ask or selling price at which he is willing to sell $1 for those who want to purchase the dollar. In the transaction, there is a spread between bid and ask price, enabling the dealer earn a profit of 0.25 on a transaction of $1. Spot rate and spot date. Spot rate refers to the exchange rate at current time, which may change many times during the day. Spot date, on the other hand, refers to the delivery of the currency. It is the settlement date when the actual exchange of currencies take place. As per international practices, delivery of currency of the spot transaction takes place on the second working day after the day of settlement. Accordingly, for a spot deal struck on Wednesday, delivery will take place on Friday, subject to the conditions that both Thursday and Friday are working days. It is necessary the date of currency delivery must be certain. Any uncertainty in this regard will cause not only inconvenience but even loss. Size and nature. Spot exchange rates are determined in gigantic global interbank foreign exchange market. The market operates at a lightning speed and in a vast amount of money. The money moves between banks quickly and in large amounts, making the interbank foreign exchange market the largest financial market. The international foreign exchange market is an arrangement where the large commercial banks and foreign exchange brokers participate. They are linked together by telephone, telex, and satellite communications called the Society for Worldwide International Financial Telecommunications, or SWIFT. The communication systems based in Brussels, Belgium, links banks and brokers in every financial center. The constant link and speed of communication enable the system to react to all the events which have an impact on the exchange rate. All these characteristics makes foreign exchange market just as efficient as a conventional stock exchange market housed under one roof. Most of the transactions among banks in the international foreign exchange market are spot transactions. which account for more than two-thirds of the business transacted in the foreign exchange market. In theory, a spot transaction is one in which the exchange of currencies takes place immediately. But in reality, spot transactions are settled on the second working day. The spot dealing between an individual like a tourist and a bank or a money changer is settled by exchanging the currencies on the spot. The spot exchange rate is determined by the demand and supply of foreign exchange through primary dealers. Currencies of different countries are designated by ISO code. Following are the codes for some of the selected currencies: USD, US dollar; Euro for Europe; JPY, Japanese yen; INR, Indian rupee; AUD, Australian dollar; GBP, British pound. Forward exchange rate. When forward exchange rate is determined in the foreign exchange market, the purchase and sale of foreign exchange is agreed upon currently for delivery and payment at a fixed date in future. These contracts usually have maturities of 30, 60 or 90 days. There are transactions for 180 and 360 days also. Forward exchange rate differs from spot exchange rate as the former may either be at premium or discount. Importers who require to make payment, say after 90 days, will enter into an agreement to purchase foreign currency, that is dollars, at a plus or minus rate than the spot rate. If spot rate of dollar is rupees 59, the forward exchange rate may be rupees 60 or rupees 58. It will be rupees 60 if the market expects the exchange rate to increase, or 58 if the market rate is expected to decline. The quotation for forward exchange rate can be in two different ways. It can be expressed in terms of the amount of local currency at which a dealer will buy or sell a unit of foreign currency. This is termed as the outright rate. The forward rate can also be quoted in terms of points called forward points. These points are added to the spot rate if the foreign currency is traded at premium. The forward points are subtracted from the price if the trading is expected to be at discount. The rate decided in this manner is called the outright forward rate, which is the forward rate adjusted for forward points. To explain this with an example, let us say that the spot exchange rate of Indian rupee and US dollar is 60.50 PID and 60.70 ask. The forward exchange rate after 180 days can be quoted through points. Spot rate was 60.50 PID and 60.70 ask. Forward rate minus 6 month swap 20 minus 25. Since the points are in ascending order, the points to be added, which means the exchange rate is at a premium. The forward rate after 180 days will be 60.70 bid and 60.95 ask. If the forward rate is going to be at discount, then points will stated in the descending order, that is spot rate 60.50 bid and 60.70 ask. Forward rate mine to 6 month swap 25 to 20. Hence, the forward rate will be calculated by subtracting the points. Hence, the forward rate will be 60.25 bid to 60.50 ask. The basic question required to be answered is why anyone should wish to agree into a contract to buy or sell foreign exchange at some future time, and how the spot and forward markets are linked. The link between the spot and forward exchange rate comes from the actions of three groups of economic agents who use the markets: arbitrageurs, hedgers, and speculators. Interaction between these three groups determine the forward exchange rate. One of the conditions that must hold in the forward exchange market is that for every forward purchase, there must be a forward sale of the currency. Forward rates frequently differ from prevailing spot rate. If a currency is worth less in the future than the present, then the forward rate will be at a discount, and an opposite situation will have a premium on the forward exchange rate.